We are here. We are back, and it's me, that dude Brandon Liu, along with my buddy Joe. He's the Captain Joe Dove.
What's going on, guys? I'm here. I'm in the place to be. We're going to talk about things that are coming out for TV in July. I've got all my ships lit up behind me. I am the captain and commander, ready to go.
I'm super excited because we have a lot to look forward to here in the Spectrum Sanctorum.
That's right.
Use this opportunity now to, subscribe to our channel, hit the alarm to stay aware of all the other things that we have going on when they launch. And we have a lot of stuff launching, but we also have a lot to look forward to in the month of July. And Joe told me that everything here for you is something you are very excited for.
Yes. So the internet has said, "Hey, Joe Dove, shut up and we're going to take your money." And I was like, okay, because there's so many great shows that we're going to be talking about, and each one of them is like, "Oh, I got to watch that. Oh, I got to watch that. Oh, I got to watch that." So I don't know how I'm going to do all this, but we'll get there.
We're going to find a way.
Yes.
The first one comes out Saturday, July 8th. It is Bleach: The 1,000-Year Blood War Season 2. This is one of the big three, and it's kind of odd for me coming into this because I feel that I was a late bloomer into the.
You didn't have the 21 dumplings from the beginning, did you?
No. Like, I feel like I missed out on the Toonami craze. Not that I wasn't watching Toonami, but I was very much more of a, I want to say, Western animation fan. I was watching for Justice League Unlimited, Teen Titans,
Oh, wow.
things like that. And that's not to say that I didn't get to enjoy Dragon Ball, but also like Bleach was kind of coming out while I was a young adult. And, I was working. I didn't always have time for what was happening on Toonami.
Gotcha.
So I am both watching the original Bleach and season 1 of 1,000-Year Door, 1,000-Year Blood War. I'm sorry, simultaneously.
Yeah.
And I'm having a good time. I'm enjoying the new season right now, more than the original because it's kind of dated.
Yeah. Yeah, it is. I mean, the animation kind of is outdated for sure, but and the voiceover, but it's still a fun story, so you can't go wrong with
Bleach is so cool.
Yeah.
Ichigo is one of the coolest protagonists in most shonen anime. Like, I find that I like sports anime more than shonen.
Yeah.
And but Ichigo is so cool. His style is cool. His clothes, like whenever you cut to like the Bleach credits, and you're watching the, there's their streetwear. They're probably the coolest of the big three, possibly. I know when I went to Comic Cons, I've seen everybody in their masks. But how do you feel with the current streaming model? There's less episodes now. Like a season back in the day felt like 50 episodes.
Yeah. I'm seeing the implosion of the streaming model right now. I want to say hi to Nita real quick. Hi, Nita. And Bleach is an amazing anime. It deals with what would be, I believe, considered to be Aikido because it's sword fighting. So it's almost like, oh, my man. And this is, if I'm not mistaken, our buddy, not my stepmom. It's good to see you, my friend. Yeah, Bleach was Bleach was a great Bushido. Yes, that's what it is. Not Aikido. Aikido is kicking, I think. But it's a Bushido story. And Bushido, hey, Rick, how are you? Bushido is basically where the sword fighters duel, and it's all about your katas being in the sword fashion. And, the story is like hired assassins and things like that. Not assassins, but hired swordsman.
Well, Ichigo himself is he's a substitute Soul Reaper,
Hmm.
if I'm and it's funny watching everybody. I feel like every anime has their own thing. So if
Hmm.
you're Bleach, uh, Naruto, they were always focused on, their. I don't want to say power levels. Dragon Ball Z was powerful. Naruto was chakra,
Yeah,
and
that's correct.
Ichigo has his Zanpakuto.
Hmm.
Everybody has their Zanpakuto, and that's like their big power move that they release
Right,
as they're fighting. Um,
like a Hadoken, if you want to.
and uh, uh, and so I'm new coming into this. I'm enjoying it. You're saying you're witnessing the implosion, but for me, like back in the day, I felt like a lot of anime had so many fillers, a lot of filler arcs,
Yeah.
and now everything feels nice and streamlined. So you know, I can't speak for the streaming model being bad, for anime, because for
Mhm.
me, I'm enjoying anime far more in this streaming age
Right.
because I can't stand the filler arcs.
Yeah. No, I don't mean that the streaming model is imploding. What I mean is the companies are imploding and they're realizing, oh my goodness, they don't want to buy 20 different streaming platforms. I think all these 7 shows are on 7 different platforms that we're talking about today.
That's true. That
So
is absolutely true.
yeah, so people get fed up with that. And oh wow, look at this. Hello Deck 4. Hello. We had Rick with Holodeck. We had our good, oh man, we have so many friends coming to say hi, and we are here for all of it. And I am grateful for each and every one of you. But today, Paramount and HBO both decided, hey, we're going to start canceling shit and selling it off. And, we're seeing the aftermath of it. So, Ernesto, I just want to say hello again and say welcome to our live for something not Star Trek. But both of these companies, HBO Max is merging with another streaming company, and Paramount is already started the merger with Showtime to compete with HBO Max, but it's realizing that these models won't work, so they're actually starting to sell their properties. So Batman's going to return from Warner Brothers to Netflix again. So you're going to be able to watch all the Batman movies. But we're here to talk about these
Yeah,
other
where
let's not
but
digress too much.
it's interesting you bring that up because especially in the last month, this is more movie related. In the
Right.
last month, we've seen Spider-Verse change the
Right.
game once again.
Yeah.
And after we've seen all of the streaming platforms kind of cut back on a lot of animated projects,
Mhm.
and which is a real shame because animation is one of the reasons I jump into any of these. Like Hulu, Bleach is going to be on Hulu. Animaniacs is also on Hulu. There's going to be a new Tiny Toons coming out this summer.
Yeah.
Not in July though,
No.
or else we'd be talking about it here
That's right.
this month. But it's animation is a thing that I absolutely love and adore, and anime is only growing in popularity.
That's true.
So while Bleach is not going to be the only animated series we talk about for this episode,
That's true.
it's one of the things keeping me on Hulu, and
Mhm.
it's one of the things that makes streaming platforms like Peacock not very attractive to me. Like if you're a wrestling fan, I can understand why Peacock might be attractive to you.
Or if you're a late night
Trek
show.
fan, if you're a Star Trek fan, obviously Paramount is a little more attractive to you.
Yeah.
If you like anime, you're probably not going to either of those platforms.
Correct.
The main spot to go for that is still Crunchyroll. But if you're someone who's not a big anime head, but maybe has a little bit of curiosity, Netflix, has Cyberpunk and a whole bunch of other anime. So Netflix is still attractive to those people.
And Netflix is
Hulu,
probably going to be more attractive over time because I think people are realizing the originals are the ones that are handled it the best, because there's been some issues with some of these streaming services with things like Paramount's famous for, hey, we're going to watch this TV show and we're having dialogue in the TV show. And then the commercial comes on and it's like, man, loud. You're like, why?
Oh my goodness, we spent a lot of time just, and we've only talked about one show.
I know we
Um,
gotta keep it rolling.
so the next show
Yes.
comes out July 10th. That is Miracle Workers
Mm-hmm.
season 4. This has the headline of being the end times.
Yes.
Now, if you've never watched a single season of Miracle Workers before, that is completely fine because season 4 has nothing to do with season 1, 2, or 3.
Correct. You can jump in blind and get everything you need to know because it's all going to start fresh. So that means when we're watching it together, please don't ask me questions because I don't know.
I'm a big fan of Miracle Workers. A big part of what drew me in is that the big star there is Daniel Radcliffe.
Harry Potter himself.
Yeah, and Harry Potter in some way inspired him to be in this series because he spent all these years being recognized as Harry Potter. He's been Harry Potter for seemingly most of his own life.
Yeah, his career.
But here in Miracle Workers, every season he gets to play a different character.
Yes.
Season 1, he was an angel. It was featuring celestial beings.
Yes.
Season 2 was Dark Ages. Season 3 was the Oregon Trail. This one here takes place in a post-apocalyptic future where it's kind of it like, I'm not gonna say it's not Mad Max, but it's very much a suburban sitcom. It's life in the apocalypse.
Yeah.
And so while I'm sure there'll be like some action, this is not an action series. This is very much
it's a comedy for sure.
Yeah, this is going to be, having to go shopping,
Yeah. How do we get bread? Like, it's gonna be wild. And no, there will be no zombies, Anita. I just want to bring that up real quick. No zombies for this. There
might be cannibals though.
Yes, cannibals is probably more likely.
There's
same
absolutely going to be a kill bot.
Yeah, there's going to be a death robot for sure.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's for sure. So I'm excited for this because we got a comedy of Daniel Radcliffe. The other seasons were great. Each one, as you said, stands alone, but each one is very good and very funny. And I really enjoy laughing at something. And I realize I'm not wearing my glasses, so I'm glad I'm working this whole thing going fine. Because I'm like, some of this is blurry. What happened? And then I'm like, oh no. Anyway, Miracle Workers is going to be great, and I highly recommend it because it's hilarious, and they're going to probably make fun of some of the tropes in those end times movies.
Absolutely. I'm also looking forward for Steve Buscemi.
Yeah, he hasn't been in anything in a long time, right?
I think the fantastic thing about being an actor like him is that he can do voice work. He could be on stage. He can be versatile. A cameo appearance. He can be like, he's been doing this show, and this is 4 seasons in. So it's not like he's just been lounging at home.
No,
washing his tights.
I didn't recognize him in the other series. I didn't even know he was in it because I never looked it up. I was like, oh, Daniel Radcliffe and some other people. So now I'm gonna, I'll go back and rewatch just so I can go, wait, that's Buscemi this whole time.
He has the most unmistakable face. I don't know how you could not notice.
I don't wear my glasses when I watch television.
Here's one that I absolutely know that you are familiar with. Everyone there. Yeah. What We Do in the Shadows returns for season 5.
You're dead. Oh my God, I love this show. This is my guilty pleasure from the beginning, and now it's popular. So I'm very happy that people are enjoying it as much as I am. You'll see the likes of Taika Waititi, Gilda Twilden. I always mess up her name. It's Dutch. Doug Jones from Star Trek pops up. And of course, Matt Berry, the most devious bastard in New York City. I absolutely love this show. It's about a group of vampires that bought a house in Staten Island under the command of their maker to take over New York and ultimately the United States for the vampire statehood. It is one of my favorite shows because it's shot in the same vein how they did The Office. So it's basically following the familiar. That's the little guy at the bottom holding on. and it's wrapped around their connection with him, and it turns out he's a vampire hunter. So it's just a lot of buffoonery, but it's so much fun. Each one of the cast members is stellar and hilarious. They're all funny, and they just released their series of Funko Pops, and I told myself I'm going to stop collecting those, and now I want those because I like them.
I'm a big fan of this as well.
Oh, really?
Yeah, man. That's why we're looking forward to it.
Yeah.
You and me, we both like the show.
We both love the show.
I'm a big fan. I was rewatching some of the series recently just to get ready for the upcoming season.
July 13th.
Out. Yep, July 13th. This is going to be great because we were coming off of a huge cliffhanger at the end of season 4, where it looks like Guillermo, the
familiar,
he's the familiar, but part of the reason why he's been the familiar up to this point was because he was hoping to become a vampire one day himself.
Right.
And it looks like he may finally get his wish. But if you've watched any of the trailers, then you'll see that he's having trouble adjusting. It's not working out for him.
No.
And we've seen people become vampires in the previous seasons. And we know that transformation should happen quickly. So we don't know. We don't know what's up with Nandor. Not Nandor. I'm sorry, Guillermo.
Guillermo.
And you're right. This is something that, you've been watching from the beginning. I think I started watching when season 3 was out.
Oh, wow. You missed out on you can go back and watch all of it, right?
Right.
Yeah.
That's part of the thing that made, this kind of reminds me of like old school Netflix when maybe something that was growing, it grew in popularity because of the streaming. I think Hulu made What We Do in the Shadows bigger because now it feels like everybody's in on this party.
Yeah, maybe. Yeah, I agree with that for sure. Yeah.
I'm also looking forward to Colin Robinson, who seems to be running for office.
Yes. And Colin Robinson is a different type of vampire. He's an energy vampire where I watch this show too much and people are probably going to think I'm weird, but I don't care. That's just how I am. And that's my personality. But he's an energy vampire and he's so fitting because I work in the corporate world and you get those people that are just like monotone and drain you. And that's what he feeds off of. So like you're suffering, you're like, if you're stuck in a 2-hour meeting that could have been an email, the Colin is all about it.
We all know an energy vampire in our real lives.
Word.
And they come in all shapes and sizes, but basically anyone who's draining you of your energy just might be a vampire.
Absolutely.
It may be just very intentional.
Yeah, exactly.
So a lot to look forward to there. I'll be watching on Hulu, but it's also available on FX if you're watching without streaming. Here's another one. I'm super excited. It must be because of the summer. I don't know. I feel like even though I'm looking forward to everything that I talk about this month, particularly is just hitting for me.
Yeah.
July 21st, My Adventures with Superman hits Adult Swim and Max streaming service.
Streaming with the adults, y'all.
There's not even a lot that I have to say about this. It's Superman, right?
Right.
And it's a younger Superman. So we're not getting I feel like superheroes in live action films are very mature. And we're gonna have a younger Superman. First coming into Metropolis, and Lois Lane is on her way to becoming a star journalist, but she's not quite there yet. And I think the intrigue for me here is that this is an anime.
Yeah.
And I think it caught a lot of people off guard. I don't think anyone was expecting a DC anime. A lot of times when there's comic adaptations made into anime, it just stays in Japan.
Right. Doesn't make it across the ocean.
Right. This one here is going to be, it's going to be on Adult Swim. It will be available to us. There's going to be a full anime intro. It looks great. Like I'm hyped for this, and I think Superman might even fit better on TV because I'm tired of seeing the Lex Luthors, and I feel like here on the animated series,
he's gonna pop up though for sure.
Oh no, I'm absolutely, but like I feel like in these little half-hour, little bite-sized pieces, we get to actually see Superman, smack some things.
Yeah, I'm gonna go beat up that big old robot real quick. Be right back.
Yeah,
I'm excited for this because this is the first time this animation style has been given to Superman, because the 90s cartoon had a very like square, very heavy line block, like literally block look. And this one,
he looked like the Crimson Chin.
Yeah, he did look like the Crimson. And this is going to be the first time we're going to get like a very well drawn Superman. But not only that, like though the technology got better and the animation got better for the cartoon series, you did get like a lot of good story in that show. And I think we're going to get good story here as well. But I'm really excited because one of my Star Trek buddies, look, the guy hanging on to Superman's legs looks like you, Brandon. That's a racist. No, but she's also from your same island, so I guess it's not. I don't know. But yeah, Jack Quaid is going to be Clark Kent / Superman, so that's going to be a lot of fun. Jack Quaid is in Lower Decks. He's Boimler, one of my favorite characters on that show, and I'm excited to see him in this as well because we get a new voice being Superman. I'm used to the guy from Wings. He's been doing it since the 90s, as was our boy, may he rest in peace, Kevin Conroy, who signed this photo right here. It says to Joe and Amy, "I'm Batman," and I absolutely love it. So here for it. I can't wait to see what they do. There's a lot of great stories. Yeah, Jack Quaid. A lot of great stories in Superman that people don't realize. There's so much with Brainiac. There's so much with Atomic Man. There's like John Henry Irons, the cyborg Superman, the what's the one with the beams in his hands, the Superman with beams in his hands. I can't remember his name right now, but you know what I'm talking about. Comic dude, Brandon.
The Superman with beams in his hands.
Yeah, the Eradicator. The Eradicator Superman had instead of I-beam, he had hand joints like Havoc. It was basically Superman Havoc. He could fly. He was.
I know who you're talking about. The name's familiar. I know who Eradicator is, but I feel like there's been different incarnations.
Oh yeah, they changed it around.
DC has had a lot of adaptations. Yeah. But yes. I know who you're talking about.
Yes. Yeah, and that's it. That's it for me. I gabbled my gums long enough for you.
No, actually, I appreciate it. I've been battling a tiny cold, so you've been doing a lot of the legwork for me, and I appreciate it.
I pick things up, I put them down.
But yeah, Superman. You've already mentioned that I'm a comic dude, So
you used to host this show called Comic Conversation,
yeah, and now I talk about TV with you.
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah,
we've morphed and evolved. Yeah.
Yeah. So now I get to still get to talk about Superman.
Yeah.
And I get to talk about Futurama because Futurama season 11 comes out July 24th.
I can't believe it's been 11 years.
It is. I have no clue how long it's been.
No, it's been like 20. It's almost 20.
I'm gonna Google that later.
And find out how 1999. Don't worry, I got you. 1999. You can probably do the math. It's been longer than longer than a decade for sure.
It's been ages. I've gotta. It's gotta be bittersweet for longtime Futurama fans, because Futurama has been canceled and brought back before, and canceled and brought back before.
Yeah.
The last time the series ended, they really did end on a pretty solid ending. Little sad, a little beautiful, but it was definitely a memorable conclusion to the series.
Yeah.
Seeing them return and seeing that everything that happened in the past is still canon, and we will deal with, even though there is a bit of a time jump, we're gonna see everything that happened before. It still matters, you know. So Zoidberg actually having a relationship. You know, Zoidberg found himself, you know, a meaningful relationship, and we're gonna find out more about the mysteries. We're gonna find out about the whereabouts of Kif and Amy's tadpoles. We're gonna find out the secret history to evil robot Santa.
That's gonna be cool. Then we got Bender.
Bender's back. Among the voices, and like, I'm not trying to make this a downer.
Uh-oh.
Like
But, you're gonna
but
throw me for a whirl.
no. But this might be, if I'm correct, the last acting credit to Coolio, the rapper Coolio,
wow.
who did voice and has recorded voice work for Kwanzaa Bot.
Oh wow.
So Kwanzaa Bot will be returning.
Sweet.
And it might be the last acting credits for Coolio. So it'll be nice to hear his voice one last time. There's a lot to look forward to if you're a Futurama fan, and as long as it's, you know, it's, I expect, you know, we have the same voices, we have the, you know, we have the team, a dedicated fan base who knows what they like. It doesn't look like anything's changed too much, so I think it's just, I'm hoping that it just continues being the great Futurama we always get.
Yeah, agreed.
All right, so here's the wild card for me.
Okay.
I'm looking forward to it, but just because I'm looking forward to it doesn't mean I think it's gonna be good.
Same. we're like completely aligned this season.
Okay, I'm glad. All right, cool. So, Twisted Metal, one of my favorite,
Games.
one of my absolute favorite video game franchises. I owned. I used to play Twisted Metal 1 for free in Toys R Us. I didn't have enough money saved up to actually buy Twisted Metal 1. Twisted Metal 2 was the first Twisted Metal I owned. And Twisted Metal 3 turned me on to Rob Zombie.
Oh.
And then I just became a big Rob Zombie fan.
And dance through the kitchens and Dracula. Yeah, I remember that.
Hey,
I
man.
forget they pay me not to sing on this show, right?
Yes, very much. Especially if you're going to bastardize. Rob Zombie's great song about the Munsters car.
Yeah.
I would love a Dracula, by the way.
Dracula.
Like, I don't even drive, but I would. That said, and I would love a Rob Zombie cameo.
That would be cool. Yeah.
But so here's the thing. If you don't know about Twisted Metal is basically a car combat game. You're driving around in this arena. You never leave your car.
Correct.
You know, you never really see the characters with the exception of Axel, because Axel was the character whose arms were locked into the wheel. It's basically two wheels, and he was the axle between the wheels. And it was that was the only character you saw because he never left the car. But this series will star Anthony Mackie as John Doe. He has no memory. He's a milkman. Apparently, he's been sent to deliver a package, and on the way to delivering this package, there are other cars, or other, I guess, people just who are in their cars trying to stop him from delivering it.
No milk, buddy.
So this is
intolerant.
So this is less of a car combat tournament fighter. As much as, all right, we're going to give you a storyline. We're going to have one particular star, and he is going to, have a mission, and the other cars will go and take him down.
Yeah.
I've still not seen a real trailer.
Nope.
I've seen a clip.
It's coming out tomorrow. It's like,
look, knowing my luck, that's exactly what's going to happen. I've seen a clip, though, of Anthony Mackie getting his ass whipped by Sweet Tooth. And the body of Sweet Tooth is played by Samoa Joe.
No way, really?
The body, yes. The physical man that is playing Sweet Tooth is professional wrestler Samoa Joe.
Awesome. I'm here for this now. I really want to see it.
And he looks great.
I mean, Samoa Joe's the man.
Samoa Joe may have found his calling, and it's not pro wrestling.
No.
And he's a great pro wrestler.
Yeah, he's a great pro wrestler, but he's awesome on the mic. Like, he was always good at the mic.
Well, he's not speaking though. He will not.
No, you don't need to, but he can emote. He's very good as a facial.
But he's gonna be under the sweet tooth mask, so you're not gonna see his face. You're not gonna see.
Oh, it's literally just his body. Oh, okay.
It's really just his body. He is the body.
Okay.
But maybe he'll get to emote with his body. He can show some good body language. Because the voice of Sweet Tooth will be Will Arnett.
Oh wow, that's MacGruber.
So it's going to be very interesting. That duo. There's already a scene, along with getting his ass whipped by Sweet Tooth. Anthony Mackie is also singing the thong song with Sweet Tooth.
Wow,
it's going to be a weird show, and I'm gonna be honest, it might be trash. But I'm gonna check it out anyway.
Absolutely.
And then we can all come back here in the comment section and talk about
yeah, come on back and be like, what the hell, guys? This was weird,
Yeah.
I think that would be amazing.
Yeah, this oh wow. There's a number of great appearances that we're gonna see here. Stephanie Beatrice from oh man, it's the cop show Brooklyn Nine-Nine. There we go. Mm-hmm. She'll be playing as, I believe, Quiet.
Okay.
And Thomas Hayden Church will be playing Agent Stone. Thomas Hayden Church, I know from Wings.
I was gonna say, is that guy from Wings? Yeah.
He's from Wings. He was Sandman in the Sam Raimi Spider-Man series. He was in the movie, I believe it was called Sideways, which has nothing to do with being sideways, and is actually about wine.
Oh wow!
It's not about wine, but there's a lot of wine involved. Takes place at a winery. Yes, but Thomas Hayden Church will be there as Agent Stone. Agent Stone is also a driver of from the original Twisted Metal game, and he drove a car called Crimson Fury.
Yes.
And I believe there's one other special guest. Yes, Nev Campbell. Surprisingly.
Oh, what? Get out of here, Nev.
Nev Campbell will be playing.
Coming back.
Nev Campbell will be playing Raven, and Raven drives my favorite car in the game, which is called Shadow. Shadow used to have the power to like shoot the souls of She was like Ghost Rider. She would like shoot like vengeful souls out from the car.
Hi, Mom.
And had a huge just damage, just like
it was like the boss almost.
No. This was definitely a playable character. It wasn't a boss, but it was definitely easy for me to take out the bosses with the damage that the Shadow car would do.
Gotcha.
So I'm really hyped to see some of the original cars and drivers present for the show. Can you tell that I'm excited? I'm really excited for the show, even though I think it's
going to be fun. And then of course I love New York, New Jersey more than Samoa Joe. Thanks, Mom.
Oh, and by the way, yes, this will be coming out on Peacock, which means I might actually have to subscribe because I really want to see this, or I can pirate it. I'm very pro.
No. You can actually watch some stuff for free. You just gotta watch commercials.
Okay. Hopefully this will be one of the free ones. We'll see.
Yeah.
All right. So this brings us to our final show.
Oh yeah.
Okay, number 7. Good Omens returns for season 2 on Prime. I am very excited to see Good Omens coming back.
Same.
Very short miniseries. Only going to be about 6 episodes. This is of course a adaptation of Neil Gaiman's story.
The master.
David Tennant will be back. Yes, the Doctor will be back. He'll be playing Crowley, as well as Michael Sheen as Aziraphale. and
Yes.
they had previously stopped Armageddon.
Right.
You know, despite everything going against them, heaven and hell both, of course, have, you know, they have their own desires and you know, holy or unholy plans, and these two, this angel and this demon, both together are getting in the way of both their plans. This season, there's a new problem. John Hamm, who was played the Archangel Gabriel, seems to have lost his mind. He has amnesia, which is always quite the, you know, awesome plot device.
Right.
But he seems to be hiding out with Aziraphale, and Heaven's looking for him. So it's once again, it's going to have this angel and this demon who just been trying to lay low and enjoy themselves. Now they're going to find themselves again at odds with heaven and hell.
There it is.
I've seen the trailer. It looks funny. I'm man, and I don't know how many people are BBC fans, but I definitely enjoy my share of British humor. So I'm excited for this. It's gonna be a lot of fun. July looks heavenly, Joe.
Amazing.
However, it doesn't just look great for television. It looks great for movies too, man.
It does.
And in that vein, moments,
I'm gonna disappear.
I know you're gonna disappear, but I know I won't be alone because I know the commander's gonna be beamed up.
That's right. We're gonna now do the whole beaming thing, and we're gonna see the end of me and the insert of somebody else. So
I'll miss you, Joe, but I'll be seeing you tomorrow.
Peace and long life, my brother. That's right. We're gonna be talking. Oh yes, announcements. We're gonna be talking live tomorrow, 8 a.m. It's gonna be an early rise show. It's gonna be Secret Invasion, the return of Shedding Light. We're gonna shed light. I don't know why I'm doing that symbol, but we're gonna be shedding light on the amazing new Marvel show. And we've got other stellar announcements that I was supposed to mention yesterday but didn't. We're gonna have next week from the Shuttle Pod show, Mark Cartier. He's gonna be joining us in the new Section 31 and a half. So be sure to subscribe. You don't want to miss out any of those things. And Section 31 and a half is going to be interviewing somebody that you might want to ask questions about. And we're going to talk to you privately about that because it's comic related. So
okay.
Take care. And I'm going to beam myself out and beam in the boss.
All right. Oh, look at that.
Hello.
Look how quick that transition was.
So smooth and so professional. That's what we are here on looking forward to the movies. Certainly. Thanks, Joe. That was a great show, guys. I was watching the whole time. Lots of cool TV to watch, isn't there?
So much cool TV to watch. I'm very excited to see all of it. And it's so cool because, you know, last month, or should I say this month, the month of June has been fun in TV. And so we have like a great month again in July. But this month has also been a great month for movies. We've seen the Spider-Verse, we've seen the multiverse, and audiences have transformed.
Yes, but there's been some fallout, my friend. Big fallout from that month. The people who did go and see The Flash enjoyed it. Just not many people did.
You know what's funny? I found myself not liking about 45 minutes to an hour of that movie, and then somehow it managed to pull me in, and I enjoyed the rest.
That film has been genuinely praised very high. There's not negative buzz around the movie itself. It's just people in it going. And you know, based upon what we spoke about last month, Brandon, it's too much happening in 1 month. You can't do it.
Too much happening in a month, and too much happening maybe that week as well. You know, because I believe Elemental came out that same week, and neither film did great. They might have still been checking out Spider-Verse, and it's just a big month. It's a big month this time too. So if I can still borrow another June reference, we're gonna turn that dial of destiny to the month of July.
Oh, there we go. Different camera angles. I was excited, so we had to go big for that moment. But here we are. I'll let you control. I don't know what order we're doing these in today. Shall I let you control that?
All right. Well, I've never got to play with the banners and stuff.
Oh, this is new. Or do you want me to just... I've got them in my own order here, and we'll just go through them. What do you think, then?
We could do that as well. Let's see what...
I know you usually have them in date orders, but I didn't... Yeah.
No,
we're so organised on our live.
No, this is fine. We haven't... I'm down. Spontaneous.
Okay, let's do it.
The first one we got is actually the first one coming out the month.
Well, there you go.
Evil Death Island actually comes out first in Japan. So if we have any Japanese viewers watching, or if you are living abroad in Japan, you get to see Resident Evil Death Island on July 7th. The rest of us sad saps, over in the United States, Australia, and everywhere else in the world, has to wait until July 25th.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
And I suppose it's maybe people don't know because they're going, hang on, you said Resident Evil, but it's Biohazard. Biohazard is the name in Japan for the Resident Evil series. So
yes.
Hence we have a Japanese poster.
Yes. It is called Death Island here. And I think part of the reason why they wanted to retitle it is because the time that this movie takes place, it takes place between the events of Resident Evil 6 and Resident Evil 7 Biohazard. So I think they didn't want to confuse anyone in the rest of the world.
Yeah, but I thought from day one, when the first game was released in the 90s, in Japan it was Biohazard. It wasn't Resident Evil.
I did not know that.
Yeah, so that's what I meant. It's actually the franchise is known as the Biohazard franchise over there.
Wow.
There you go.
That's kind of like when I watch these British YouTubers who talk about all sorts of video games, and they'll refer to what I know as the Sega Genesis as the Mega Drive.
Yeah.
And I will be very confused at first. Like, oh wait, no, I know what they're talking about. Got it.
Yeah.
I'm caught up.
Yeah, we know there's a Mega Drive down here too. There you go.
You guys just enjoying your own, and I'm here left
out.
Oh, I could have had the Mega Drive.
Mate, maybe we're part of the British colony. No. Hey, but can I say I watched this trailer? I like the concept, I must say. I do like the idea of it self-containing on Alcatraz. It's very video game-esque in that respects.
Yeah.
And keeping it one location. Some of the CG, you can tell they were on a limited budget, but essentially it looks a very plot-driven film. A lot of things are happening. I don't know much more to say about it because I will say the voice acting seemed really good.
Yes,
really good. So yeah,
I'm expecting both the looks and the quality of what I've seen on the Netflix series. I believe there was a series on Netflix, and that was interesting to me. It still wasn't. It didn't look great, and but it wasn't enough to turn me off. That said, if I may read the synopsis or just a bit of it,
sure.
Jill Valentine is dealing with a zombie outbreak and a new T virus, while Leon Kennedy is on the trail of kidnapped DARPA scientist. Claire Redfield is investigating a monstrous fish that is killing whales in the bay. Joined by Chris Redfield and Rebecca Chambers, they discover a trail of clues from their separate cases that all converge in this location, Alcatraz. So they're about to form the Avengers together.
Basically, that's what they've done.
Are bringing them together.
Yeah. So, and again, this is a franchise that's been around since the mid-90s. So we're looking close to 30 years old. Can you believe that the Resident Evil franchise has been in the world? So this is, they've got to come up with fresh ideas. And we tend to find with franchises, they go along, You've got to bring everyone together, don't you? You've got to have your Avengers. You've got to have your Fast X. You've got to have your that kind of bring the team together. So, yeah, absolutely.
But I can't help but feel that, like, as a fan, that this is something that you might have been clamoring for, for a while. Because I remember when I first saw Leon, I was like, where's my familiar faces? I wasn't thrilled to be playing as this cop. I wanted to play.
Yeah,
I wanted to
fair
be
enough.
playing as Chris. And over the years, we've seen a number of characters, and we've gotten to see them team up on a number of occasions. Now we get to see everybody together in one spot, and I think that's really cool that we get to see everybody. I know the long-term fan base will probably be watching, good or bad. Like, I think they're just going to be there to experience it. It'll be interesting to see how well it performs, and will it lead to more sequel material, because Resident Evil has, as I already mentioned, they've got the series on Netflix. Now we have this movie. I feel like we could see more down the line, especially if it gains any mass appeal.
Well, the other thing is it's not easy to transition from video games to film, television, and things like that, because they're very different mediums. So not all franchises could just cross over the media. So they've done a great job to be able to keep the Resident Evil movie series was millions and millions of dollars. That thing did really well for itself, and we've had all these different iterations and across all platforms. It really says a lot about the strength of the franchise. So it's very cool.
Awesome. So what's the next one you got for me?
The next one we're popping into is, I don't know if this is the 5th or 6th one in the franchise, but no, sorry, wrong film. Sympathy for the Devil. That's the next one.
Sympathy for the Devil. I know what you were referring to, though, and I can't wait to talk about that.
Yeah, me too. It's the same looking poster, and I had a little icon there, so kind of ruined it. But anyway,
it's all good. Sympathy for the Devil features Nicolas Cage seemingly as the devil himself.
Yes.
As he
that's what they're alluding to, aren't they? They don't come out and say it, but
no,
we don't know.
I feel like it's the subtlety there is not very.
That's right.
It's not very strong. It's very in your face what we're looking at. It reminds me of this Tom Cruise and Jamie Foxx movie. I believe it's called not Confidential. Collateral. There we go.
An amazing film.
Yes, I loved Collateral very much because it has the same premise of a driver just kind of being forcefully commandeered and taking a mysterious someone for a ride. But this time it's Nicolas Cage, and he seems to be raising all sorts of hell. Is there a greater purpose? Is he just tormenting one person for the sake of it? That much I don't know. But it just looks like a lot of fun, and that's often the case with Nicolas Cage.
100%, and it's Nicolas Cage here at about 11, I think. If we were on the scale, he's turned it all the way up, which is what we all love. I like the fact that even I'm doubting, is he the devil? Is he just a madman thinking that he's the devil? But I hope he is the devil, and he's tormenting Joel for some reason. So, look, Nicolas Cage has kind of got a cage assance at the moment. He's coming back in a big, bad way. Yeah. And he's been in a lot of quality content. And this looks like a film that could be considered a basic genre film, but just based on having Nicolas Cage alone, performing the way he's performing, this film is just... I can't wait. Everything he's done in the last few years has just been gold.
It's really wild to see how he's bloomed, because this might get me some negative opinions, and that's fine. I'm cool with that. I accept that. I was never a big Nicolas Cage fan.
Oh, really?
I feel that in the 90s heyday, a lot of the things he was, got a lot of love for, I just thought were very cheesy and not very good.
Oh, what,
Personal
like
opinion.
action films or things
I
like
wasn't-
Leaving Las Vegas and not Leaving Las Vegas?
More the action films. Like I was in, what was I, middle school, high school? I don't know, but
Con Air, he did Con Air, The Rock,
Con
he
Air,
did.
I didn't care for.
I love Con Air. Con Air is awesome because it is dripping in cheese. It's going to the burger place, getting the triple patty, getting the gooeyest cheese, all the barbecue sauce. You love it in the moment, but yeah, you don't feel great afterwards. But you just dive in. I love Con Air.
I found that when I did enjoy Nicolas Cage, because I didn't have a personal agenda against him, but I found that I ended up liking things like City of Angels, which was completely different. No one in school was talking about that.
Yeah.
But I enjoyed City of Angels.
Yeah.
And
That was that was one of his mid-90s, I think, films, wasn't it?
yeah, and
Meg Ryan? Him and Meg Ryan?
Yeah. That was fun for me, and I feel that as time has gone on, especially as we've gone on, as you call it, this Cage-assance, I've really grown to appreciate him, and I enjoy the resurgence more than maybe his initial popular run. I
mean, look, he is a well-matured actor at this point, right? I mean, he knows what he's doing. I think he has a good, strong sense of self and the kind of roles he wants to play. And I think it was absolutely a time when Nicolas Cage... And the thing is, because he was so off-centre for a while, he wasn't always the easiest person to cast in films.
Right.
But I would say Nicolas Cage now is widely accepted as one of the great actors of his time. And the reason is no matter what he does, you know he's making interesting choices with his performance. Every single time. And he'll make a choice in a scene that no other actor would ever do. I mean, 'cause he's that unique. And he should be treasured. And I hope this film is as good as the trailer looked.
Absolutely. I think, man, I can't really follow up on that. That is... I'm ready to move on to the next one.
All right, let's move it on.
You really tied the bow on that one.
Yeah, I did. I did give that a little bit of a tightening of a bow. Let's move on to a franchise that I am shocked at this day that I love so much because kind of petered out there for a while. But we're back with film 7, and that's Mission Impossible: Dead Reckoning Part 1.
I remember seeing the first Mission Impossible movie and not really being that excited. As it's evolved, continued to evolve, Tom Cruise has been raising the stakes each and every entry. And this has been probably the most sustainable franchise in Hollywood. And I'm not counting the MCU because that to me, even though they are a franchise of sorts, there's different titles, different stars. The closest comparison is probably Fast and the Furious, and they've also went through periods of lagging and change. Tom Cruise and Mission Impossible has been consistent since its initial movie, and here we are now with possibly their biggest one yet.
Yeah,
projections are saying it's going to be the biggest one.
I have no doubt. I would say Mission Impossible 2 was its biggest lull. That was widely not a great film, and I hate to say that because it was filmed here in Australia, but it's not a great film.
It's not your fault.
You know? Yeah, I know, but you want them to be good. But either way, Part 3, as soon as JJ. You know, okay, people love to hate on JJ, but JJ Abrams, his first film was Mission Impossible 3, his first directorial. And he did a great job. He literally brought that franchise back. And then you had people like Brad Bird doing Ghost Protocol. The moment it hit Ghost Protocol, every film since then, and that was a high watermark, has just succeeded. Not because of the stunts. The stunts are awesome. It's because these films are exciting, they're engaging, they're professional. I don't know. I just love the franchise so much. I mean, who doesn't walk down a hallway occasionally and load their guns up like a canful just for the hell of it, eh? But yeah, look, it's a great series. And this is a great trailer. and it feels like it's a culmination of the previous movies. He is going to be paying the price for some of the missions he's been involved in, and that sounds great.
I'm very excited. This comes out July 10th, and this is you say that it's more than just the stunts, but I know at least over on this hemisphere over here, the stunt is always seems to be the thing that gets promoted the most.
Of course, you're going to get people into the cinema.
And for this one, the motorcycle stunt that we get to see a little bit of in the trailer was the first thing they shot. They shot this on day one of the movie, just in case Tom Cruise died. He said he would rather shoot this now than shoot the rest of the film and then have some sort of tragic accident and then we got to reshoot. Let's get this out of the way now. And it's the fearlessness that Tom Cruise has. He brings that to his performance, even, when it's not a stunt. And I think that's what makes Ethan Hunt such a believable hero, because he's fearless all the time.
Yeah, absolutely. You feel you're in safe hands with Ethan Hunt because his decision making and the way he goes about his business, you absolutely support 100%. He is, he's basically Captain America, isn't he? There's no real flaws to him. You know what I mean? He's the good guy. In a world where we see a lot of and I love, fractured characters who have dark sides to them and all these different layers. But I also love that Ethan Hunt is really I keep trying to say run of the mill, but I don't mean it like that. But he is your stereotypical good guy, the best version of it though. So yeah, man, everyone's back. It looks fun. They've added, talk about Captain America, they've added Haley Atwell to the cast as well.
Very excited for Haley Atwell.
Yeah, and I love her. I think she's a wonderful actress. So I'm really thrilled that she's getting an opportunity in this movie as well. And, what's his name? Is it Elias Morales? I'm not very good with pronunciation. The guy's playing the bad guy.
I know who you're talking about.
Fantastic actor.
I also have trouble pronouncing his name. I believe.
Yeah, I know.
S.I.E.
Yeah, Nita right now is in the chat, like ready, just screaming at me with my pronunciation. I can't even say that word right. I'm sorry. But yeah, look, everything looks great for this film. I can't wait.
And I believe also Palm Clemente, who is Mantis.
Yes,
she will also be in the movie.
Can't wait for Mantis to be in it. Yeah.
This is, as always, star-studded cast, and everyone will be delivering. Like, I believe it. There's no, at this point, it's a sure thing when it's a Mission Impossible.
You know what got me excited about the trailer though? And I think most people know this, but I'll put it out there. He's talking to a gentleman across the table. Mm-hmm. And it's the same guy he spoke to in the first Mission Impossible film before he ran through that. He blew up the fish tank and ran through the restaurant. It's the same guy. So it's the same agent. They've been able to tie it all the way back around with the first film by just having that character in there. And I'm going, oh, yeah, I love it. I love it. So
everything matters. Everything matters.
Everything matters.
And we're gonna see how it comes back to bite Ethan in the rear end, so to speak.
This is such a great film coming out this month, but I can't believe I'm saying this. This is not the biggest film of the month.
No, and I don't know.
I believe the next one is.
Okay, we're gonna be able to see. I'm excited. Which you got?
Here we go. It's Barbie, right?
It might be. This is a big battle, because if I'm correct, hold on. Mission Impossible comes out July 10th. This comes out July 21st.
Yep.
But it has huge competition. We'll talk about that movie a little later on. And that movie later on also has some issues with Tom Cruise. So there's a lot we have to talk about this time. But let's stick with the pink brand
Yeah.
right now. Let's
And the
talk
reason I
Barbie.
say it's the biggest movie of the month because, yeah, there is something else we're going to talk about, but this film covers everybody.
This
I think the only people going is some knucklehead, knuckle dragger jocks who go, Barbie. But I think anyone else, from grandma all the way down to your little girl, to your mums and dads, to the guys that remember them, just because they look like they've made a fun, really great film that actually has some depth to it.
we're talking about one of the most recognizable characters in all of media. In any medium, if you want to talk Mickey Mouse, Superman, Super Mario Brothers, Barbie is right up there. An icon in toys and fashion in general. And I used to work at Toys R Us. And when I was a boy, when I was a wee lad, I did not care at all about Barbie. And when I worked in Toys R Us, and I walked through the Barbie section for the first time, I was like, oh, I get it. I get it now. I got it as an adult in a way that I couldn't understand as a kid. Exactly how far the reach is. Because I was looking at the 60s Catwoman costume, but on Barbie. And I was looking at Wizard of Oz, Barbie. And I was looking at how far the reach is for Barbie.
Across the globe. Across the globe.
And now we have this movie starring probably the most Barbie person in Hollywood, Margot Robbie, along with many other Barbies in this. Oh man, it is almost sci-fi. It is satire. It almost reminds me of the Lego movie. Barbie will be coming to the real world.
Yeah, and that is the plot. That is, yeah.
And I don't know how much time we're going to get to spend in the Barbie world before she comes into the real world. But it looks amazing.
Yeah, look, they've really done a wonderful job. And I think this movie, just like the Lego movie, I would say, the reason that works is the tone and the humour. And they got that right. And I think they've done the same thing here. She is absolutely perfect. And, you could take a Barbie doll to North Korea and to a tiny village. They would know who she is. She's been important. And I must say, as a little boy, occasionally my He-Man might hijack the Barbie van and take a swim in the Barbie pool of my sisters. But, that's all good.
I don't think that it is blasphemy to say that some of these Barbie accessories was a lot cooler than some of the accessories that boys had for their action figures. I absolutely. So my aunt Nicole, she is 2 years older than me. So when I would go to her house, I had my action figures, just like random, a couple of He-Man, a couple of Marvel figures, and some Ninja Turtles. And I would take them to her house. And yes, they would get in the pink convertible. And yes, they would go into the Barbie dream house because that house is cool. And
that house was cool. Of course you'd want to crash in the house, right? You want to party in that house for sure.
Yes.
No, look, I think this film's got great potential. Look, Greta Gerwig being the director of this, you got that level of, Margot Robbie and Ryan Gosling playing Barbie and Ken. I mean, could you ask for a better cast, including all the supporting actors? This is probably a film it's a $1 billion film. I'd be shocked if it doesn't make $1 billion at the global box office.
And I was looking at the Barbie news, as I try to do for all of the movies that we talk about and all the TV shows. And it's funny because some of the news that I was seeing was unexpected because I'm seeing not just news about the movie, but I'm seeing business news because of the influence Barbie is having. There's not, and I'm not just talking about collaborations that they're having, because I feel like that's something a lot of the toy companies have when they make a movie. But I'm not even talking about official collaborations. I'm talking about people walking into people looking for pink convertibles. People, Lamborghini is at an increase of requests for
that
pink,
particular pink.
the hot pink Lamborghini. And it's not like they have these just ready for the demand. It's because you see this real life pink Lamborghini for the movie. It's like, wait, hold on, this is a real possibility. I'm interested. And the same goes for stores, like fashion stores. I have seen an increase just walking around the city. The amount of pink that I've been seeing, it's a wave. There's a Barbie wave,
and it's coming.
Everybody's ready for a beach off. And,
but the other thing about this film that I find intriguing is it's great they've got diversification of all different Barbies, because she's not the only Barbie. She's the first Barbie, I think, the original Barbie. But it's also, there's some profound existential things going on.
Yes.
And that is like, God, that's smart. That is smart. That's the way to do this. That's the way to handle this. This is a film that I had zero interest of, even though I knew Barbie. The moment they dropped their trailers, I thought, you sold a ticket. I'm in. I can't wait to see it. Absolutely. I'm going to go with my wife. Going to go with my daughter. Happy birthday to my daughter today. She turns 22. She's not so little anymore, but she's always going to be my little girl. But we'll be going, I'll be going with the girls to go see this. Why not? It'll be a great time.
I'm looking forward to seeing it. I will absolutely be checking it out. I'm not sure if I could bring the lady, but I feel like I could bring my sisters to this as well. I would. Yeah, this really just looks like so much fun.
Yeah.
And I am super excited. You had brought up the Lego movie earlier as a comparison, and funny enough, Will Ferrell is playing like the CEO of Mattel. In the same way he's playing like the president of Lego.
Yeah. And a good choice. Why wouldn't you have Will Ferrell, bring it on? I just because Greta Gerwig is directing this, I just feel in very safe hands, because she is a top tier directing talent.
Yeah, absolutely. This is going to make tons of money. But it has a lot of competition with another movie that comes out the very same week. But I have no clue if that's what we're talking about next. You have
but maybe control. We will. Maybe I'll jump to that one, because it is probably the biggest competition for the month for Barbie. We would agree. And that is Christopher Nolan's Oppenheimer.
This one, this one's heavy. This is, we're talking about the Manhattan Project. We're talking about the building of the atom bomb.
The race to build the atom bomb.
The race, yes.
The fact that they had to build an entire town and lock people in that town until this was completed. It's a story, I think, part of the history that people don't realize is no one wanted to make the atomic bomb, but as soon as the scientists figured out they could, they realized either they were going to do it or Germany was going to do it. So, in a time of war, World War II, the race was on. And, man, Christopher Nolan handling this subject, couldn't ask for, look at the cast here. Brandon, you've got Cillian Murphy, Emily Blunt, you've got Matt Damon, Robert Downey Jr., Florence Pugh. These are people at the top of their game joining a director who is probably in the top 3 directors on the planet right now. Doing a film this important is crazy. And the last thing I'll say before I let you go on is they don't use any CGI in this. I don't know how they've done it. They haven't released how they've done it, but we're going to see this explosion, and it wasn't done with CGI.
No.
So I'll be fascinated to see how they do that in the film as well.
We're looking at very practical effects.
It's got to be miniatures. It's going to be things like that. But I'm old school. I dig that stuff.
But it's not just that. I had saw that a special type of film was used during the recording. That was developed by Kodak. So I don't know how much that comes into play. I think the thing that I really like about Christopher Nolan and appreciate is that when he is filming subject matter like this, it has the same gravitas as some of his sci-fi work. There's a lot of movies that, a lot of directors that will tell historical stories, but fails to bring the audience in. It doesn't always show up in the box office. I never have that feeling when Nolan is helming the movie, because these movies, they don't have to be action films to feel like huge events when Nolan is the one helming the story. But the actual comparison that I've been seeing him refer to in interviews is, you can call this a horror film.
Yeah.
There's no monsters. If anything, the monster is, humans for what we've created. The anticipation of knowing what's coming.
And the fact they don't have a choice but to do it.
Yeah.
So they're morally, challenged at every step of the way, because, it could potentially, at that time in their heads, it's a fight for human survival. So, I mean, these are the stakes, and you're right. And what a great thing to say. It's a horror film, because what's more horrific than nuclear weapons?
Yeah. There's already, as with a lot of movies, there's early screenings. People have been leaving speechless at what they've seen. This is going to be possibly like we talk about what could be the biggest of the month. This could be a Titanic level, Avatar level movie.
I don't know about that, because I don't know if you're going to get the teen audience in.
Fair enough.
And I think the teen audience is the one that would push it to that stratosphere. But what I would say is, this is award level winning. This is going to, like the Oscars next year, forget it. They're just getting them all.
Yeah.
This is the film. So it may not make as much as some of the other films this year, but people will remember this one.
Yeah.
You get a feeling it's a classic that'll live forever already. And I haven't even seen that.
Yeah. Now I had mentioned some drama between Tom Cruise and Mission Impossible. For this movie, Oppenheimer, they have the exclusive rights to use IMAX theaters for the first 3 weeks, which drove Tom Cruise upset. Tom Cruise, of course, a big name in Hollywood, has been credited to a lot of people by a lot of people for saving the theater, the movie theater industry.
With Maverick, Top Gun Maverick.
Yeah. And however, because of scheduling, he will not have the luxury of having his movie in the IMAX films for a very long period of time. Like, I think he gets to have his opening week, and maybe a second week, but after that they will be removed from removed from the IMAX theaters, and Oppenheimer will be exclusive for 3 weeks because these were shot with IMAX cameras.
Yeah, the whole film.
Yeah. So it's going to be a visual treat. I don't know how much that will affect the box office for Mission Impossible. 1/3 of theaters, of movie theaters, are IMAX theaters, so it'll be very interesting to see how that plays out box office wise. If you care about the stats and figures, sometimes I do. You may not, but I'm interested in these things. So sorry, I had to nerd out for a little moment there.
Very cool.
Yeah, so I'm very interested. It's a big month, and there's still more.
Well, there's still more, and I'm going to be honest with these last two. I know nothing about, so I'm really going to be relying on you to fill me in here. And the next one we're going to. Oh no, I do know about this. But I haven't seen past the first film.
It's going to have a very similar effect to what you were saying about Mission Impossible, because this is going to tie into Uh, even the very first Insidious. This is Insidious: The Red Door.
Mm.
And there's a couple of interesting things about this, and it's in the news for a couple of reasons. But the star Patrick Wilson is also making his directorial debut with
Yes, yeah, that's what caught my eye about this too.
Yeah. But the Lambert family never has it easy. The official synopsis reads that the original cast is returning for the final chapter of the Lambert family's terrifying saga to put their demons to rest once and for all. Josh and college-aged Dalton must go deeper to the further than ever before. The further being kind of like
gee, that's such a cheesy description they've put there, isn't it? They're really trying to sell it. Yeah.
They are, but it's funny. I don't really feel like it has to be sold though, because the Insidious franchise has a very loyal, in a world of or in a time of cinematic universes, the Insidious, franchise has been successful. I think
really successful. Like 100% has been successful.
I think where they succeed in a lot of ways that other films don't really have to, or other franchises can't really compare, is their budget is reasonably smaller than a lot of these big epic, Fast X, MCU,
of course,
Avatars. Like the budget's a lot smaller, but the horror fan base is built in, and they know what they're getting. This is a franchise that's revolved on a lot of jump scares. They're very fast paced as well. So whereas there might be a creepy lull for some other movies, this one will have your adrenaline pumping throughout the entire, film. The scene that got me and got a lot of people in the trailer was the MRI scene. It looks like Patrick Wilson's what's it called? He's going in. I'm sorry, I should refer to him by his character. Josh is going in for an MRI, and there's no space in the MRI, and you got to be very still as you're getting an MRI. And he doesn't see anything. It's just black, and then all of a sudden, you just see this creepy ghost just crawling really fast at him.
I know this franchise is very based upon the jump scares being a massive. Like, they do it better than almost anyone, the jump scares. And, it's got a lot of respect out there. I know that. I just haven't caught up.
It is going to be interesting, I think, from a familial level. And I think you can probably relate to this. You mentioned, your little girl not being a little girl. She's a grown woman now.
Yeah.
And in this one, Josh's son is away at school.
Yeah, well, I relate to that too, because my son is 27 years old. Yeah. So, when you have little babies and they end up growing adults, it's crazy. And sorry, I think I know what you're alluding to is the fact that I love the idea they're actually making it multi-generational. That he, in a way, is paying for some of the sins of his father.
Yeah, it seems to be haunting the family, and also because they're apart. It's very hard to save or be there, or like how do I stop this haunting when you're not physically present? Yeah. And I do assume that Josh will be able to reach his son, but they're both being haunted simultaneously.
Yeah.
It's how do we stop this, seeming curse that is.
Well, how do they figure it out again? They've had their memories wiped, basically.
Yeah.
And that was the big thing. So half this film is they've got to figure out what the hell is going on first, again, and then deal with the problem. So I think that extra element they've added in, even though it seems a bit cliche, in the trailer it didn't come off like that. And I think it's smart for this film to go in that direction.
Yeah. It's going to be a lot of fun. This is being billed as the final film in the franchise. I don't know if I believe that, but if this is going to be the one to close it out, then I know that Patrick Wilson directing, this is going to be, it's his directorial debut, but this has kind of been, like, it's not his whole career or anything, but he's been there from the start.
Oh, yeah.
And I know, I kind of feel like it's in good hands.
Yeah.
Having
Absolutely.
him.
We had a good teacher in James Wan as well, which
Yes.
has a very strong connection with, which he's obviously done these films with. He's done the other, the Conjuring series with.
Yes.
He's been in the Aquaman films. I mean, like, so, and James Wan is an excellent Aussie director, by the way, Aussie director. So, but he's a great director. Yeah. All right, should we move to the final one?
Yes, this one might be my personal. I don't want to call it.
Yeah, I have no. I'm sure you're going to judge me right now when I say I've never seen it. But like, I'll rant away, my friend, because we're going to be talking about the Venture Brothers. Radiant is the blood of the baboon heart. Great title.
Yes. So this one, I feel like if you have not been following the series, this may not be for you. So what I'll instead do is invite anyone who hasn't to check out the series on Max if you can. Because if you are a fan of the Johnny Quest era of Hanna-Barbera cartoons, this began as a satirical, maybe even farcical take on the Johnny Quest stories. Instead of Dr. Benson Quest, we have Dr. Rusty Venture, and he is the son of a great scientist, but he himself has 2 sons that he's raising, but he's a terrible father. And instead of Race Bannon, they have their bodyguard, Brock Sampson, voiced by Patrick Warburton.
Okay.
And it has just been an incredible cartoon full of ultra violence and sexual deviance, as these young teen boys and their scientist father and their bodyguard get into all sorts of trouble. But over the years, it is morphed into just these nerd creators getting to spill all of their nerd references into each and every season. So it's full of just Easter eggs and jokes. Whether you're a comic book fan, if you're just like an 80s music fan, if you're a 70s TV fan, there's everything from the Bionic Man is referenced to Super Friends to
this has a real what I saw. It has a real it's obviously a homage to 60s and 70s kind of adventure tales, cartoons, comic books. It does feel like it crosses a lot of like genres and puts it in this. I'd love to check it out now. I feel clearly I would have a lot to catch up on because it's been going for a while. But yeah, the trailer looked funny. It really did. I was highly entertained by that.
Yes,
and that's from someone who never watched an episode. So
now, for those who have watched, we are still looking for Hank. Hank has gone missing. Hank is the blonde brother, the blonde son. And he was missing ever since he caught his brother making out with his girlfriend at the time. And he had gotten into some sort of coma. And while his brother was visiting him at the hospital, he fell asleep. When he woke up, his brother was gone. He put on his Batman mask, declared that he is the Bat, and has just kind of wandered off. Okay. But all the while, you got the OSI, which is kind of like their version of S.H.I.E.L.D. Just some secret, some secret operatives. They're the good guys. They're like G.I. Joe almost. And then there is the Guild of Calamitous Intent. They represent the villains of the story.
Right.
But it seems to be a new player from the past of both Dr. Venture and the Monarch, who is our main villain. Someone from both of their past, a new party has entered to raise trouble and potentially cause chaos and rule the world, as is the case in a lot of these over-the-top comic book stories. It looks to be a lot of fun. There is still a lot of questions that have not been answered, but I had mentioned earlier in this broadcast with Joe that a lot of streaming sites, a lot of streaming networks, I should say, they go and they've cut back on animation, and so Venture Brothers was canceled. But we get to finish out with a big bang with this movie right here. So everyone who has been waiting for, seemingly, it feels like it's been 3 years we've been waiting. We're finally going to get our conclusion. Hopefully all of the all of the mysteries are solved, all of our bows are tied, all the gaps are filled. What will we find out? How do we work with the reveal of the relationship between Rusty Venture and the Monarch? Will there ever be a resolution to the brothers Hank and Dean? There's just a lot to figure out here. I get to nerd out on this on my own, but I really do hope that if
you and obviously millions of other fans of it.
Can I say something though? I'm a little upset that this went last because I'm losing my voice.
You poor thing. Well, I think you've sold it, done a great job of selling it. I'd be very interested.
I hope so. Every time I get a chance to talk to you about something you're less than familiar with, I feel like it is my job to really sell it. And I don't think I did that well the last time, which was like the Dragon Prince.
Yeah, no, you didn't sell it that well, though.
No.
This one, I'm only teasing. But this one,
hoping.
I'm actually, I think this one's probably more, I'm an old Generation Xer, so I do feel a bit of already an affinity to this type of material just because I've been exposed to it so much. So, and I do feel Generation Xers as somebody, especially with, stuff. We live off member berries now. It's all about nostalgia for us, isn't it? And this is a show that clearly is in that realm. So,
absolutely.
So it looks great, mate. That's it. Well, you've done it. You've gotten through. This has been.
I can't believe an hour and a half, and I've somehow managed to keep my voice.
Yeah. should we bring in Joe to say goodbye? Should we bring him in?
Sure. Why not?
There we go. Let's bring in Joe. Let's get rid of this. Where are you, Joe?
I'm here.
There's Joe. There he is.
Yeah, I found my glasses so I can actually see him. I'm like, wow, these are my friends. I remember them.
There we go. Yeah.
I can hear you.
Oh, there's a reason I don't wear my glasses because how ugly they are. That's right.
No. I love my friends. This has been a great week. I like the merger of the two. This has been
we'll get better at that. We'll get better. We'll make a nice little transition moving forward to it.
Literally do the warp transition.
We could do that. It's a great, isn't it? Because there's a lot of content to be covered this month, and I think you did an amazing job, Brandon, covering all this content.
Oh, thank you very much.
So great TV shows to watch, great films to watch.
Right.
God forbid you had a life. You know?
Right.
I'm going to be busy just watching stuff.
Yeah.
Well, since we have you all here, Joe, is there a movie that you're most looking forward to? And Jace, is there a show that you're most looking forward to?
That's a great question, and I was absolutely not prepared for it. I will say isn't one of them what we do in the shadows, right?
Yeah.
That's pretty well the epic one, I think, of the month. I absolutely love that.
I think we're all.
But I'm a big Futurama fan. I know you guys were a little bit chilly on it. I'd check it out.
No, it's not that we're chilly on it. It's just been on so long, on and off.
Yeah.
Like, because I love Zoidberg. I think he's hilarious.
And you can't count past Superman.
Yeah,
coming up. Like that looks great.
It really does. The animation on that.
So, but
for me, for the movies, it's always a horror and it's always an action movie
Yeah.
Unless the lady wants to go and see something romantic, and then I'll have to watch that. But I really want to see Mission Impossible. You know, Teddy was a member of the Scientology group for a little bit. If we remember from our other show,
he was. One of the reasons he left is because of Tom wanted him to do his own stunts.
Yeah. So Teddy was like, "No, I can't do my own stunts.
I'm out."
Yeah. So
that's such a deep cut reference for.
You watch your shows.
Yeah, you gotta watch those shows to get that reference.
A lot of stuff here to offer you on Spectrum Sanctorum. And that's it for me. Like those are the big ones for me. I can't wait.
So you said no, but the horror film being Insidious, the Red Door, right?
Of course. Yeah. I can't wait for that.
I'm sure.
I'm one of those, and I'm going to see that by myself because you know who I usually go to the movies with, the horror movies, is Scott, who used to be on the channel.
Yeah.
And you know, I moved so far away; it's hard for us to kind of like.
It's not around the corner anymore.
Right. Yeah, he's now that I live in Jersey, in the dirt. It's kind of harder. So we're trying to work on. It seems that was one spot that we're working on that seems to have worked. We did see Ant-Man together a couple of months ago, so I'm thinking this might work again. And Scott and I can go check that out and do 1 week later. Which, if you want to buy merch, is that merch still available on the merch store for 1 week later? I don't even know.
I don't think so. I don't know. We'd have to check it out. We're always ever evolving.
That's right.
Yes.
At Spectrum Sanctorum, so we're not afraid of change because we're trying to make content for the viewers out there.
Yeah,
we want to provide entertainment for them, so they help dictate what we do.
Speaking of dictating what we do, if you're upset that we didn't about any particular movies or TV shows that we didn't cover, now's your opportunity to leave that in the comments.
Tell us what's out.
What did we miss?
Tell us what you did. Tell us what you agree with. Tell us what you are looking forward to, because I'm absolutely interested, and I will be checking out that comment section to see what it is. You know, because I am very excited to know what you are looking forward to. And we, of course, will be back next month to say what we're looking forward to in the month of August. You know, this is ongoing.
Oh,
it never stops, and that's awesome.
Yeah.
Guys.
May the Spectrum Sanctorum continue forever. Yeah. So, toodaloo, everybody. Bye.
Check out SpectrumSanctorum.net for all of our podcast merch. We have an entire merch store ready to give you all the things that you loved about our podcast. And get notified on all of our socials: Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, YouTube, and our Spectrum Sanctorum merch store. Follow us today and be sure to hit that bell when you're watching our YouTube videos so you can be notified of when a new episode releases.